3, 2, 1, countdown for 10 seconds. Good luck, guys.
Good luck.
Good luck.
And I'm back.
Hi.
Hi.
I've
How's it
just
going?
been sitting here. It was horrible.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was dark and cold.
Ah, it sucks to suck. All right, so match starting.
My.
Here we go.
Okay.
Middle square.
All
Kill
right.
Godric and Godfroy.
Can you stream?
Oh,
for me?
right.
Thank you. Insane insult. I won't even share your screen. Unbelievable. Thank you, sir.
So you have to kill Godric and Godfroy for the middle square here. This is a square that's pretty much, it's trying to force Altus.
Yeah, so Godfrey, remind me, if I'm on the right track, that is the Everjail?
Yes.
That is right outside of the Dectus lift?
Correct. There is some synergy here where, oh, there's Grafted Scion, by the way. And Aggie just skipping it.
Oh.
Very
interesting. Is there anything else that would be immediately very close? Like, no, I'm not seeing anything else that would be a better option aside from, oh, Godric with Nefeli Lu. Oh, and with like that dual synergy of they are forcing Godric as well with middle square. Maybe he's just like, hey, I'm going to let him take the square.
Very nice fight by Chris, though.
Yes, that was beautiful. I am very scared of that boss.
Very nice.
I'll be the first to admit it. It's very scary.
Let's go ahead and refresh their streams here real quick. But yeah, so with the Godric Godfroy, it's kind of promoting, I would say, middle game and Altus access. Also, Godfroy being an Everjail boss on top of that for Everjail squares, but also it being an Altus boss. So you have a little bit of synergy.
Interesting.
And those different.
And a Moog square, as you said
Oh, yeah, we have Moog on the board.
We do have Moog. You are legally required now to say Moog.
To say
every time.
Moog.
Yeah.
Moog.
Moog. I like that better a little bit.
Oh, oh, look at this. We have Invade Beast Magnus, which you need for Moog anyways.
Oh, that is true.
Oh.
That is one of the steps in Vari's questline, which I definitely know all of them. If you could just refresh us on those steps, that would be good.
So normally what you do is you kill Godric, talk to Vari. Vari teleports to Liurnia, then you talk to him at the church. Then he gives you a quest to go kill an invader. You go kill the invader. Then you go kill a virgin for her blood to fill up the...
Let's just sneak that in there. Like, let's just like calmly say, oh, and we also just murder a woman.
I mean, it's Elden Ring.
Yeah, true. True. Just casual murder is every corner, I suppose.
Yeah. And then you go to back to him, and then he gives you the sigil or the medallion for Moog.
Moogwin.
Moogan.
Sure.
Any Moog
right.
enjoyers?
He's my favorite boss fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
I just love him. I think he looks just he looks fantastic. His moveset is so fun to learn, except for the blood flame, and it's a little annoying. But then he's got those huge wings.
Yeah, the wings are cool.
I just love the design of Moog.
The wings are cool.
Big fan. The blood flame, a little annoying, but you know, we all have our faults.
Sure.
What's your favorite boss fight? I feel like you're silently judging my favorite boss fight.
No, not at all. I'm analyzing. I'm analyzing the board.
Okay, can I get a insight into the mind of Captain Domo? No? What?
Every single time you say my name like that, it hurts. It hurts.
That is
so
literally
much.
your name. That is literally
It's not Domo.
your name.
It's Domo. It's
But then I
never
call you
been
Dom
Domo.
without the O.
Who asked?
Then I call you Dom without the O.
Yeah,
I don't call
Dom's
you
fine.
Dome.
No, not Dome. Don't spit it out. Don't do it.
Was not even close to that happening.
Looks like that. Yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of a race here to Godric, by the way.
Yeah.
Honestly, okay. So looking at the squares here,
You know I just do it to antagonize you, right?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Column 3 is not bad.
Ancestor Spirit. Raya's Hand.
Never mind. I take
No,
that back.
yeah. I mean, you got the Altus synergy with the Godfroy. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly. Godfroy and Magnus.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little. I don't know.
Are you backtracking on your statement?
Just because of Ancestor Spirit, the travel down, the travel times is too high.
It's the pyres, right? Like the pyres just take a long time. So
Yeah.
that and not just the pyres, the elevator. It's like 5 years of my life. I get my first gray hair and I get married and buy a house all in one elevator ride.
I feel like that sometimes.
Yeah, do be like that sometimes.
There we go. There's the market kill for Aggie, by the way. Chris also currently on market. Looks like they're both considering going for Godric right away. There is a Remembrance boss with a Remembrance weapon. There is Godric with Nefeli Lu. There is Renala. Kills Renala after all 4 summons. So there's a lot of Remembrance.
Stones. Yeah.
A lot of Remembrance stuff. You do have Dragonkin Soldier, though.
There's a Rykard, too. Oh, my goodness.
You also have Dragonkin Soldier, which if you do go downstairs, Ancestor Spirit into Dragonkin Soldier, Dragon Halberd, not a bad weapon to go for here, to be honest. This is a late-game board. So having a Dragon Halberd +4/+5, that's kind of good.
Yeah, and there's the 6 bosses in Liurnia, so Renala is already guaranteeing the 2 of them with the Red Wolf and the Memory Stones. Wow, there is a lot of very neat synergy going on with this board. It's hard to know what to choose to pursue, I feel like. Oh, there's a Knight's Cab in Liurnia, too. Okay.
There's 2 Knight's Cabs.
This is nice. There is? Oh, there is! There is! I always kind of forget about the, There is?
Yeah, there's the one after the main gate. So if you have Raya Lucaria, you have the south entrance, and then you have the main entrance. The main entrance right outside that, towards the Dectus, there's one. And then there's the other one where you have the Tibia Mariner, and then right below that, we go to the Broken Bridge. There is another one right there.
Really?
Yep.
That one is just slipping my mind. There's just too many of them, honestly. It's, yeah. Mariner.
Good old Tibia Maraca. And,
Morocco.
Huh?
Huh? Nothing. I didn't say a single thing. Okay. I didn't say a word.
Sure. Yeah, but looks like that Aggie does have the head start, but is currently going to round table. This will be interesting. If Chris does not sit down at a grace. Oh, Aggie denies. Giga chatting?
Interesting. Yeah, and Chris still has to have the small conversation with Nefeli, but I mean, it's enough that.
Wait, this is actually a Nefeli race. But Aggie doesn't quit out. Chris does.
Yeah,
never mind.
That quit out is critical. Those birds are just so sneaky, and they wedge themselves into the room. Yeah.
Uh-oh. This is interesting. Whose Nefeli Lu is better?
Yeah, and so this adds another element of RNG on top of, Godric's. It's how well Nefeli performs, because she can be a huge ally.
Dude, if Aggie skips the golden seed, if he would have skipped the golden seed, he would have been technically ahead. This is really, really close.
It's so funny getting to watch them in sync and just how similar they play.
I want to know if they're going to skip the grace. If Aggie skips the grace here, that'd be Giga. Nope.
No.
Oh, Aggie does!
Oh my god, he did!
Aggie does!
Oh, insane confidence. We'll see if it pays off. The troll is
Troll's yelling at him.
A little, yep. Interesting to see if we have any repeats of the earthquake attack, because that seemed to be a little bit of an issue for both of them earlier.
Oh, this is going to be very interesting. Hopefully Nefeli Lu doesn't get distracted with the troll outside, actually, and comes towards the fight.
Oh, can that happen?
Summons get distracted at the door all the time with other enemies outside of it.
Did not know that. You can just touch the summon sign and immediately go into the fog wall, right? You don't have to wait.
I don't know. I like to stand around and wait just to be safe, but I'm pretty sure once you've pressed the summon button, you can walk in already.
Okay.
This is really close, though.
Yes, it is, and it's all going to come down to Nepheli, really, because that's their main source of. Ooh, Eggy getting
Huge
a nice
bleed.
bleed. Yep, huge bleed. Basically going to induce the phase transition here. Yep, just like that.
The
He
hell was
might
that
even get a
teleport?
stagger. I didn't see it. Was it for Chris?
No, it was for Aggie. He got like teleport reposted there. He wasn't even trying to hit.
He might get another stagger with how much damage they were doing. No,
Well,
it
he
doesn't
does
look
have an
like it 'cause
increased poise meter when
I was gonna
Nepheli.
say, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
there it is.
Oh, there it is.
I think Aggie's got this if he doesn't
I
die.
think so too. Yeah.
Oh!
Bleed proc. Oh, wow.
Nice
Good
roll. Nice roll.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Expertly played.
Aggie's got it. Aggie's got it. Just can't mismark it. Don't mismark it.
Yep. Which can happen.
If he mismarks it, hey, he
That
loses
was a beautiful fight. That was very, very well done.
Bathed in rays of gold.
That was good.
Thank you. There we go. 1-1.
Wow. And Chris is about to see that.
Yeah, he already.
Always
Yeah.
curious
Oh!
to see that. Oh, and the earthquake really just not the move of the day. I will say that.
Oh, he might die here. Oh, that was really
That was
risky.
very, very risky. Got some kind of nasty dodges. To be fair, those projectile attacks can be tricky to dodge.
Yeah, he is out of healing is the only big problem here.
He's got the riposte. I think he's got it after. Well, you know what? I'm not going to
Nope.
say a single word.
Nope.
Not gonna. Oh, he's trying to throw some.
Oh!
Oh my god!
Holy, what was that fire NATO?
I don't know. I told you the projectiles are scary and they can behave
That was
oddly.
insane.
Yeah, it was. But, you know, finishing the fight, getting some currency, it's just incredible how much faster Eggy got out of that fight. It was very good.
The question is not like, what are they going for first?
Well, you have take Raya's hand. No. You don't want to get through Altus like that. Not when you're not prepared. Sacrifice. There's not a lot of very quick stuff, you know? There's a lot of just slowly hacking away at some of it, but there's nothing really that's standing out in my mind.
I'm thinking possibly Wet Blades here, actually trying to force Raya Lucaria.
Sure.
Going for a Red Wolf, maybe?
Yeah, because you got the standard blade that you can get just at the beginning where you get Melina. And then you have the magic one in the academy, and then the Stormveil one as well. Which I think the only requirement for the Stormveil one is the imbued key, right?
Oh, just the normal Stone Sword key.
Sorry, just Stone Sword, yep.
But the thing here with Raya Lucaria is that you get the Memory Stone from Red Wolf. There's a square for Memory Stones. You get the Wet Blade after Red Wolf as well, and then also Renala summoning all four spirits. So there's a lot of Raya Lucaria here. There's also 6 bosses in Liurnia.
Lots of Liurnia.
That's 2 bosses. So a lot of Liurnia here. Staves on top of that. There's a lot of staves in Liurnia.
Oh, there's a ton of staves in Liurnia, actually. Tons, right? Because you can buy the one from the merchant right off the bat. You can get Thops if you decide to murder him. You can. There's one underneath the academy, Renala's memory. You could theoretically make the remembrance weapon. Is there another tower? Even there might be another tower one as well. There's a lot of them. We're gonna see a lot of the lake today.
Which is good. I think we do kind of skip over Liurnia for the most part, if I'm being honest. Like, Liurnia is mostly just seen as, like, smithing city, where you get all your upgrades, and you just move on to either Caelid or Altus. So actually seeing a little bit more of Liurnia, I think, is really nice. Yeah,
I would agree with that. Are there any watchdogs in Liurnia?
Yes.
I can't remember. There are.
On the east coast, when you first come into Liurnia, if you go straight to the east and then drop down, there's a catacomb. A little bit pre-Jarberg.
Is that a boss? Or is that just an... Okay.
Yeah, it's a boss watchdog.
All these catacombs I haven't been to in a long time. Makes me want to redo them all.
No, I'm good.
Memory stones. So those typically... So Red Wolf, you already mentioned. One is sold from the Twin Maiden husks as well, correct?
Correct.
And then where are the other twos? Are those typically rises that you would pursue then?
Yeah, you would normally go for the Kayla Tower one, and you could go for the one right next to the Erdtree avatar that has an explosive physic. You could go for those two.
Okay. If
Those
you're
are probably
in
the
Liurnia,
easiest.
that makes sense. If the one right by the avatar would be very accessible if you go for the avatar kill.
Yeah.
Deathbird and Deathrite Bird. There is a Deathrite Bird in Liurnia. Would you? That's interesting because you can't cheese that one. I don't think you can get the elevation. But the Deathrite Bird in Liurnia has a really cool thing that you can do with it. Have you ever seen it hit the kill box?
Yes, the
By the
skybox.
bridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. I don't know if that can consistently be pulled off, but it is really interesting to see when it happens.
It's a little difficult because you do have to get that one. You have to get RNG lucky with the move where it does the, it jumps
backwards.
up and. Yeah, exactly. And that is kind of, I feel like that's almost like a rare-ish attack on the Deathrite Bird. But you could also, you could just go straight to, you could go do the AI lock in the Deathrite Bird and Kayla instead. Go for Death's Poker.
I do love Death's Poker. It's a fantastic weapon. It's very low stat requirements. You don't really have to dump much stats, and you can use it at RL1 with, I believe, just Radigan Source Seal is all you need.
Yeah.
It's a really, really cool weapon. It's got the really neat, versatile Ash of War where you have the explosion or you have the line of the Frost Flame. It's really cool.
The question I have here, too, is like we have Remembrance with the Remembrance weapon only. I'm assuming they're going to trade in their Remembrance of Godric for the Fist weapon. We've seen that more and more often than the Great Axe.
Yeah, the Great Axe just has such high stat requirements. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but the strength, I think, is like 30. It's a really, really large stat sink for the axe.
Well,
maybe it's more than that. I think it might be 38. I feel like it's really high.
I'm pretty sure I think it's 30. I think 30 was right.
Sure. The fist is it's fine. It's not great. I mean, the one thing I guess I feel like typically if people are going to do a boss with a remembrance weapon, they typically choose Renala. With the synergy with this board, with Renala being on it with the summons, that would make sense. I guess the one thing is she's in water for her second phase, so you get a little bit of resistance related to that. But she's weak to fire, I believe. I don't know.
Aggie died to
nasty
good old
Red Wolf.
Good old Red Wolf there. Got a little greedy, I want to say.
Yeah.
Which is
it doesn't take much. It really doesn't take much on Red Wolf, right? He's very quick and has some bad combos. It really just is a few missteps and you can die pretty quickly, especially at the health he's at. He's taking Red Wolf on with basically what looks like base vigor.
Yeah, so. I mean base stats overall. I think it's still a +0 Uchi on top of that. So this is just like.
And he didn't pick up Jar Shard either because I believe they both just immediately crashed Stormveil. So yeah, he's working with some dismal stats right now.
And that's also 30k that he left behind, by the way.
Oh yeah, just a casual 30k on his corpse.
That's a lot of cash money.
God, Uchi is just. I know I say it way too often, but it's just so impressive to see Unsheath putting in massive work on a base weapon.
It's actually ridiculous. I think yesterday I was doing a bingo against Aggie last night actually, and I had a +12 Uchi, and I was doing way more damage than I expected for a +12 Uchi.
Yeah. I love the staggers on Red Wolf. Just you don't see it very often.
Oh, nice. One more Unsheath should do it here. Chris making his way over to the Physic, I believe. There we go. That's the kill for Aggie. That's one Liurnia
solidifying,
boss.
Yeah, the Liurnia boss. The Memory Stone gives him access to Renala at this point. Very interesting. And the Wet Blade, too. He could honestly already secure the Wet Blades at this point. It looks like he's going to go pick it up right now.
Yeah.
He could easily do that. Just warp over, pick up the other one, just kind of solidify what is a pretty just errand-like square.
This will also actually be really good going for Renala with possibly the Fist weapon, because it would be a Remembrance, but it's also 2 Great Runes here. So if there ever needs to be capital access, he has those Great Runes, which we've seen the last 2 matches. He didn't have, like, players didn't really have that.
on this board that requires capital access? Is there anything that we...
Moog? No, I mean, Moog, we don't need it.
No, yeah,
never mind.
even
We don't
Moog.
even need it.
Yeah. But it is always a good thought. I feel like that is oftentimes not really at the forefront of players' minds, and it's not until the end when they're rushing Morgott or Gold Fruit, whatever it would be, and they're like, oh shoot, I need to go get that second remembrance. So
It looks like actually there is nothing really in capital in this match.
Yeah, Eggy is
nice.
gonna go pick up the Wet Blade in Stormvale, and he's just going to snag that square, which I think is a very fair move. I think that's a really safe move, just to get another square on the board. Where is that located? Ooh, column.
It's right here.
Blocking column 2.
Oh, you meant on the board, not like in the...
Oh, sorry, I meant on the board.
Nah, you're good, you're good. And looks like he's okay. So Chris is going for the first half of the deck, because I don't think he's gotten the Caleb deck this half yet, which is really, really
he
bad,
did have...
I guess, because like what has he been doing besides Godric?
Yeah, I feel like he's been doing a lot of
Setup.
errands. Yeah, lots of setup.
A lot of setup.
Yeah, and Eggy has made a lot of progress already towards Liurnia.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be grabbing the whetstone knife here for his third wet blade. So that'd be really nice. That'd be an extra square now for Aggie for column 2, row 5. Not really, doesn't really give him a benefit of forcing a line in any way, but at the very least, I mean, okay. Actually, this would be very interesting. Only if Aggie does this, though, and I seriously doubt it's going to happen.
Okay, I'm listening. Hey, last time you said this, there was like 3 things that happened that you predicted, so I'm listening intently.
It's going for a Dragonkin Soldier. You already have Red Wolf, and then go for 6 bosses in the Urnia, and then just force the Moog line. Because invade Magnus, and then if you mark Magnus, you already are giving away that you're doing the quest line for Moog. You know what I mean?
Ooh, I know what you mean. At least put the incept the idea.
Because that's a
into
double
Chris's
up.
mind. Yeah. That could be mean. That could be really mean.
That could be very, very tough here. And the thing is also, like, column 3 is not bad. So even if he just does Magnus and has in like 4 squares in row 5 and doesn't do Moog, and Chris has to block Moog, Aggie can just go for Godfroy, take Rya's Hand of Volcano Manor, which is right next to Godfroy, do the Cemetery Shades and Ancestor Spirit, and he's doing Dragonkin Soldier anyways, which is downstairs, so you can do the Ancestor Spirit on top of that. There's a lot of like playability here with column 3, row 5.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and kind of not necessarily pursuing it heavily, but just at least having the perception for your opponent can be just as critical. So that could be interesting.
Looks like he is going for some faith here, so he's going to be using, I think, the fist weapon here from Godric.
And I think that's, yeah, I wish there was more choices. That's the one thing, is I wish there was just a little bit better options, but you can't really do much about it. That's what's accessible.
For remembrance weapons or what?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a little tough. It's a little tough because if you're trying to rush things, Godric fist weapon is right there.
Yep.
However,
Exactly.
I mean, for example, like yesterday, I used Radahn's bow. And that was really good. I used it on Godric. But the problem is that it's not rushable.
Sure.
A lot of the squares are not rushable. And the other problem is if Renala actually had weapons that you're able to use, I think there'd be a bit more like diverse options. But having Godric like, oh, like, yeah, here's a fist and a great axe, and then you have Rykard, which is like, oh, he has a sword and a spell, but it's like it's so far away, it doesn't make any sense. And Renala being like, yeah, here's a scepter that takes 50 intelligence and a spell that sucks. It's like, okay,
50 intelligence.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's silly. So yeah, your only true options are Godric's, unless you go for Radahn. You know.
Yeah, you are correct. Sadly. Although, yeah, I do.
60
I mean,
worse.
Oh, it's 60. It's like Comet. Interesting. What am I, Einstein?
What am I, Voga Houdini? All right. Where's Chris going?
He's been doing some sneaky things.
He's been doing a lot of prep.
He's been setting up for Raya. He's been setting up for, I don't know. He's been doing. He's been all over the place. Now what is he doing?
It's gonna be Aggie's first catacomb here, by the way.
Is he in the Black Knife Catacomb, or which catacomb?
No,
Is
this
he
is
in currently?
the Watchdog one because there is 3
Oh, the Watchdog.
Watchdogs.
Sure, sure. That makes sense. So there's this. There is the one right by Stormfoot Catacombs, I believe, is the name in Limgrave, and then I guess there's another Weeping Peninsula Watchdog. Is there any other Watchdog that would be more accessible?
Just the double Watchdog fight in Caelid.
Yeah, just the double Watchdog fight.
I mean, if you have crystal darts, it is a very,
Sure.
very easy
I mean,
fight.
and he already has access to, after Red Wolf, there's easy pickup to crystal darts on the way, like where the ball is rolling down. I think there's like 6 crystal darts right there. So I mean, he does have access to that. He could do that.
Oh, looks like Chris might be picking up the Bloodhound Fang for this match too, which is going to be really nice. You know what's really crazy, by the way, is that kill 3 NPC invaders is still on the board. It's been 25 minutes.
Yeah.
That's been one of our most rushable squares, I would say.
Yeah.
And no one's going for it.
This board, I mean, both of these players are recognizing that this is a mid to long game board. So I think they're both doing a little bit more setup than I feel like we see otherwise.
But, I mean, potentially. I mean, column 4 isn't even that bad. You have NPC invaders, memory stones, which is pretty quick. You have Dragonkin Soldier,
True.
Knights Cavalry, and +7.
Suppose.
You know, it's... And you can do that pre-Altus +7. You don't have to go to Altus.
You're right.
So, like, that's not a bad line to try and force. And maybe that's what Chris is going for here, too. He could definitely go for that if he wanted to.
It's not terrible. I don't see anything else that looks... I mean, roll 4 isn't that bad either. Really. Especially if you get that twofer, as you would say, with Renala.
The deuces?
The deuces? Because you could get that 2-piece, so that's not that bad of a row either.
And it looks like
There's options.
Aggie's going for Bloodhound Fang, too.
Interesting choice. I suppose it is a good idea that they have somewhat of a decent weapon if for whatever reason this would come down to like a Moog rush. They're definitely going to want some long-term damage for that.
Moog? Yeah.
Moog? Little Moog?
Amogus?
Don't say that. Come on. No.
I had to. At some point, I had
I know. I'm surprised it took you as No. So Aggie is now where? Weeping? Maybe heading towards that.
I think he's making his way towards
Watchdog?
Weeping, yeah.
What else is in Weeping? The staves, I suppose. Yep. There's
Making my
the
way
demi-human
downtown.
queen that you can kill for the one... I don't know what staff it is. She gives a staff if you kill her.
The Demi-Human Queen staff.
That's actually what it's called?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I wish I would have had the ability to put those two together, but what are you grabbing your head for?
Oh, nothing. I'm just referencing my swollen 5-head brain from...
Oh, is that what you were doing? Just can't contain the frickin'
Too powerful!
on this guy.
Yeah, I was like...
Oh my god.
Chris making his way. I think he's making his way straight towards Dectus, by the way.
It would appear that is...
Oh! Aggie going for a
No.
second catacomb here and grabbing a cemetery shade. On top of that, there is 2 catacombs, but also
right.
cemetery shades. So he's
Yes.
trying to clear this, and then he'll go for another cemetery shade afterwards.
That seems like a fair play. And then where is another cemetery shade? We have Caelid. And is there one in Liurnia?
Yes, there is actually.
I think there is.
It's the one in the back next to the Frenzied Village where the Black Knife Assassin is also. It's a double boss
it's the double
catacomb.
one. Yeah. And I think, is that the one that has the skellies too?
Yes. Pretty sure. Yeah, that's the one that has like the 4 skeletons inside with it, which is
Yeah,
even worse.
actually kind of
fight.
rough. Yeah, it's
I'm trying to remember.
already not the most interesting fight, and then you add some ads on top of it.
I think it was. Okay, hold on. Let me think. There was a matchup where one of them went for the cemetery shade, And there's one that went for the one in Liurnia, and the other one went for the one in Caelid. I
Ooh.
think it was the Ain Josh one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Josh went for the one in Liurnia, and Ain went for the one in Caelid. And Josh has got was it Geno instead? I don't know. It was one of those two where you realize that those skeletons are actually way worse.
Oh no, they create issues, and
Yeah.
then like if you decide that you want to kill them, sometimes the shade will use that one stupid attack that entraps you. Essentially, it's a frustrating fight.
Yeah. No, but the nice thing is, like, most of the time, if you get caught by that ability, by the way, where you get like snared in by Cemetery Shade, if you spam your left and right bumper, it gets you out of that trap sooner.
Yes.
And sometimes even fast enough to where the Cemetery Shade can't grab onto you and eat your brains.
Yeah, it's typically not ideal. Yeah, both these bosses, it's I feel like it's a boss that, wow, he's melting him.
Yeah.
He's just melting him.
Oh, whoa.
Oh my
I've
God,
actually
he got
never seen a stagger
That's
on
actually insane. And just like that, it is over. That is the nice thing. I mean, for how mobile they are, it makes sense that they have very limited health.
Okay, looks like that Chris actually might be going for taking Raya's Hand of Volcano Manor first, and then maybe pivoting back for Godefroy? That would be interesting. He could force column 3 here.
And I don't think Aggie has gotten to Altus yet, has he?
No.
I don't think he has decked this either.
And I think this tells Aggie, though, that Chris does have Altus access, at the very least.
Yes, it does. He does have that information now, which might light a fire under his rear, maybe?
Oh. We also have record and discard Serpent Hunter plus 0, by the way. So maybe Chris forces that first. Never mind, he's pivoting.
It's a mystery?
As soon as I say that. Oh, he needs sleep pots, that's why. For Noble. I think he might be grabbing some more resources for his sleep pots here.
That's fair. It is a pretty miserable fight without status. Or sleep at the bare minimum.
Never mind, he's going. Okay. Everything I'm going to say is going to do the opposite. Never mind, he's not going. Oh.
One day.
I mean, this is kind of what we pointed out, though, is like once you don't have chat access, you're going to constantly pivot back and forth because you have different thoughts in your head of like, is this faster? No, this might be faster. Okay, then wait, this is faster. Okay, well, if I do this, how does he block that? And if you don't have chat being like, hey,
to reinforce your plan, right? Like I feel like sometimes chat does like, well, it can go either way, kind of like what you're saying. Sometimes they can toss out like completely bizarre ideas, but once in a while, I feel like it can be helpful for players to just be like, have that validation or reinforcement of, okay, we're gonna stick on this line or this plan, and yeah, they are lacking that today. I like that element. I think that's really great.
Yeah, I think for top 4 is pretty huge, not having access to chat.
Yeah, and it could be fatigue as well. I mean, they've played 3 matches of bingo back to back, so after a while, I feel like it's not even necessarily just playing, but also keeping the squares straight, right? Like just delineating previous match squares from what you have now. I feel like I at least might make that mistake.
I mean, just overall, it's like you mentioned, the fatigue. I think after a while, just like really messes with you too, to where you don't consider every single option. You know, the first game is probably going to be the highest performance that you're able to offer, and then after that, it's like. What's it called? Diminishing returns.
Sure.
Sure.
I'll accept it as a valid word.
And it looks like that maybe Chris is contesting Watchdogs.
Ooh.
This is his first Watchdog here, and if he rushes to Caelid right afterwards, that'd be very interesting. And he's actually parrying Watchdog too. I
didn't even know you could parry them. That's interesting that you can. I mean, it's a great sword, so I don't know. Whenever I see a weapon, like, wow, it just melts.
That was a great fight by Chris.
It was. That was very, very nice. It would be interesting to see the double.
I think he went straight to Lascar runes because I think he might be grabbing the crystal darts first.
I was gonna say, do you get crystal darts as a pickup, or is it the recipe that you get?
It's the so there's pickups and then there's the recipe. The recipe is in Lascar Ruins. However, if you go more to the East Coast where that road is with some of the summons that pop up, and you can go up the right side towards Tibia Marina. If you go towards that road and like you have like the archway, right?
Yep.
Right in front of that is Crystal Darts. Right in front of that archway.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we have already mentioned about Aggi's current path is he has easy access to those crystal darts right by Renola, and Chris is going what I would consider to be quite out of the way for it, but helpful nonetheless.
Chris is going for it right now, actually. The crystal darts are right here. I believe it's that pickup right there. There we go.
Beautiful. How many do you get there?
5.
How many does it take to actually proc the 4?
Yeah.
Kind of scary.
If he misses, it's 6. I couldn't really say thanks. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So if you can miss 2 if you wanted to, but you only need 4 to convert one of them.
Ooh, Aggie now in Kaled. Interesting. He looks like he's heading towards where I'm imagining the catacombs to be. He is? Is he? Dom, help me.
Wait, what?
Is Aggie? No, never mind.
No, he's not near the catacombs right now. No, he's near the duelist jail cave.
Ooh.
Which has the stone sword keys. But if he wants to keep going down and then go towards the Dragon Communion altar in Kaled and then go down, that's where the catacomb is with the cemetery shade.
Yeah, the cemetery shade. I was wondering if he would be going for watchdogs, but it wouldn't make sense for him to do double watchdogs anymore because he already did 2. So.
Did it do 2?
I thought so.
I thought he just did 1.
Oh, maybe he prepped the one for Weeping, and he didn't actually. Yeah, you're right.
No, the one in Weeping was a cemetery shade.
Yes.
Oh, well, you said watchdogs.
I know.
Okay.
But there's also the watchdog catacomb in.
Oh,
Weeping as well.
yeah. Okay, yeah. I got what you mean. I don't think he went there though.
No, he did not.
Okay.
You are exactly correct. You are keeping everything very straight, which is good.
I'm locked in.
You're doing this thing again.
I'm locked. All right. So this would be watchdogs for Chris, and this would be cemetery shades for Aggie.
Yeah, just this. I mean, I can't see his runes, but sometimes it's better just to let yourself die in this catacombs because it's just a frustrating place to navigate. Frustrating to navigate.
Yeah, no, there's definitely some catacombs where dying is just way better. Oh, Chris doesn't know, does he? Yeah, see, he has to go down here first, go to the left, and then go all the way to the bottom, get the lever, and then he has to go all the way back, and drop down into that hole, and then...
You are dogpiled by a bunch of imps here. Instantly get bled. Yep, there is
one more from the ceiling. He's got to be careful. And dodge. Oh, never mind. Oh, that was close.
He dodged it?
That was
if
close.
He doesn't have any runes, basically just let yourself die is a little bit of a better play, honestly.
Yeah, those imps are terrifying.
Yeah. The Dark Souls 3 thralls.
You know what's the worst part is like when you go into a catacomb and you actually take it slow and then you just walk up slowly and then you just look around and you see like an imp just waiting for you to walk into its line of sight. That's like even worse. You're like, nice.
And then we have the rot here. He has to be careful not to roll. Would hate to have that be affecting him as well. I'm curious to see the crystal darts. I do.
It's nice.
I've seen it before, but I can't. Is it fast?
It's like throwing daggers. It's you can throw it pretty fast.
Oh, that's easy. Okay, it's not nearly as bad as I expected.
Yep, and now they fight each other too.
Oh wow, yeah, that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Chris just trying to grab some aggro here.
Oh, and they're both
damaging each other.
That's actually insane that they both did that much damage to each other. Look at that.
And that one should be close to dead here. Yeah, that smackdown should kill it, and then Chris
and
just goes straight
for an easy finish here.
Yep. Gotta be careful. Nice Ash of War usage there.
Very, very beautiful. And he's gonna pick up and have that, a little bit of a commitment from Aggie, so that's good. Wow. Well done.
Very, very nice. And Aggie gonna get his second cemetery shade here. They're gonna be blocking that column 3 that we said was pretty dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous, but no. headway on it, you know?
Yeah.
Just not.
Yeah. Well, for some
too
reason,
much
Chris
has
didn't
been done on
prioritize
it.
it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
But it does. If Chris does get the center square, which I don't know.
Yeah, I'm so surprised that he hasn't done it yet.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
He's going somewhere else too. I think he's going to Magnus right now. Because there's nothing else actually this way besides Magnus. He takes the teleporter.
I mean, I guess maybe he. Oh, Eggy dying to a shade. Which, you know, if it's the one in Caitlyn, that's not that surprising. They're frustrating fights for sure. Interesting. He was going for Magnus first.
I think maybe he's trying to indicate more to Aggie to block column 3 so he can focus on the diagonal maybe, because the diagonal is really nice.
Man, yeah, it's gonna be interesting
know.
to see how Chris reacts when Eggy gets the final shade kill, because that's gonna disrupt the column 3.
I do wonder, if you do Magnus before starting the quest line, does that affect Vare's dialogue at all?
I don't believe so. I think it's still.
It just skips it?
Yep. You still get the fingers, right? Because doesn't he give you the festering fingers or whatever the invasion tool is? Actually, that's a great question.
Because he's like, hey, here are your fingers. You're like, oh, I already did it, dude. He's like,
That is a great question.
I don't know if that messes with the quest line at all.
That would be good to know.
Yeah, why is he not going for Godfroy? I don't understand.
He doesn't like. Well, I mean, okay, let's think about Godfroy.
Oh, wait.
Like, oh, okay, yeah, easy, but he's kind of a tanky Everjail.
No, he's going back. He's going for Godfroy here. He didn't have a Stone Sword key. He grabbed the Stone Sword key at Stormhill Shack. That's why. Okay. GG's to Aggie here, though, grabbing Cemetery Shade, going straight now to Renala. I think he's going to go for that double square. He's going to be killing Renala with Remembrance. Never mind, he's pivoting.
We can't understand him today. It's okay. I need to work on my insane, like, whatever you do.
You just gotta not be worried about hitting your head against anything, and then then you got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm always worried about that.
Holy
man! All right, so we're gonna see the Everjail.
At least we're gonna see Godfroy.
Who is Godfroy? Explain to me and the people, please.
So apparently there's lore where I don't really understand the lore too much here either. So I'll be completely honest here. I don't know everything, but so Godfroy is another version of Godric where he is the son of Godfrey, to my understanding, and he's like. That's it.
And we are seeing the tankiness of this boss. He has a lot of health. A lot.
Yep, wrong. Well, I mean, I said it. No,
you tried. I accept it. It's more than I knew. I just know that he's here.
Yeah, he's here.
Ooh, bleed. Okay. Big.
Looks like that Aggie might be going for Memory Stones.
Sure, that makes sense. This one's really easy to get, right? You can just launch yourself up.
Yeah, off of the pad, yeah.
Yeah. And then the other one is, as we previously mentioned, close to that Erd Tree avatar, if he decides to pursue that with the Liurnia bosses. It's interesting to know when to do those Liurnia bosses. There isn't a boss aside from, obviously, Renala, who's going to give you a ton of, levels or anything, so it's just a time sink, you know? It's almost one of those things that you just might want to leave till later and come back and clean shop when you have better damage.
This guy, oh my good heavens, he's got to be careful here.
He does a lot of damage and he has a lot of health.
You know, Chris could technically, if he wanted to, try and force +7 Sacred Flask too, because he is an Altus and everything and has +3 already. Not the worst.
Might as well.
Grabbing the center square, though, is going to be the best for him, for sure. He's got to be really careful here. He keeps getting tagged on that second swing.
Ooh, I think he's out of heals, too.
Yeah, he's trying to keep that poise meter up with that, I think, throwing dagger? Oh, there's a bleed, though.
Yep.
Okay, he's got to be really careful here, but I think one L2, R2 should take care of it.
I think so as well.
Here we go.
He just has such long combos. There are attacks that you rarely see. There we go. He has it. Beautiful.
There we go. Very
nice. And he's got the icon, which is useless for him right now, but actually a cool talisman if you have a casting build.
It's like whatever you charge does more damage, right?
Yeah, I think it pertains to spells specifically.
Well, also Ash of Wars, actually.
Oh, does it actually?
Yeah, I think it's whatever you charge for like Ash of Wars or spells, like they just do more damage, by like 10%. Cool. I think it applies to both.
That's
Ashes of War and
I don't think
spells.
I knew the Ash of War bit.
Well, there aren't a lot of Ashes of War that you can charge.
No, I was just going to say, I'm trying to think of some, but I don't think there's too many.
There's the Carrion Grandor, which is like a blade spell that you charge, like it like buffs up the sword multiple times.
Would Bolt of Grand Sax count? Because you can charge that.
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
I think so.
Bolt is sick.
Oh, it looks like that would do. Okay, Aggie actually already blocked that diagonal right away with those memory stones.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as Chris
Wow,
claimed
that was just so quick.
Yeah. I mean, it was a really good diagonal, though. It was a really, really good diagonal here. And it looks like this is Chris going straight into Rykard now, trying to get that into restoring. Isn't there a restore Rykard's Grave?
I don't think so. I think it's just the discard Serpent Hunter.
Okay, yeah, I'm stupid. But what he could do, he can go to Blasphemous Blade with Remembrance Weapon only.
I do like Blasphemous Blade. I am a fan of that weapon.
That would be saucy.
It would be, but he's already committed a little bit to a Bloodhound Fang. It's like, is it worth the currency of, buying more Sombers, etc.? But it is a cool weapon. Maybe he'll do it just for that.
Good old Mad Tongue Alberich action.
Yeah, this dude is scary. I like how he's just hanging out in Round Table as well. Just to incite some fear into the hearts of new players who are... Curiosity is making them jump over the balcony, and they are rewarded with a nasty little invasion.
So what I'm kind of curious about, whether with the lore anyways, in Alberich, is because he's like one of the only invaders that actually greets you with a gesture when he first spawns in. So that means like he knows he's invading you, but he still has the decency to gesture. Like, I wonder why that's a thing. Is there some lore maybe that he's like just like, I don't know, a gentleman?
You also find his outfit in the ghost round table in the capital. So I wonder if that ties into it as well. I don't know anything about him other than that. And he's got really cool armor.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I have to agree.
One of my faves.
So Chris going for Godskin Noble here, getting access to Rykard, and I think Aggie is just going to go straight for the Invader Square now. Because he did get Mad Tongue Alberich. He's going to go for Nereus next, then maybe Anastasia afterwards at the other church.
I think that would make the most sense. Seeing some big damage from Bloodhound Fang against the Noble. Man, the Reduvia Invader. What is the name of them again? I always forget.
Nereus?
Nereus?
Yeah.
He's scary.
Nereus is very scary. He's also double wielding Reduvia, by the way. And
you use Reduvia on your no-hit run, right? So you had to do this fight? Yeah. Yep. Scary.
It's pretty easy, if I'm being honest, for the most part. You can no-hit this pretty... and this is actually a trick for most invaders, if I'm being completely fair here. If you're using the Uchi specifically. This is why Uchi's broken too, is if you have invaders, just backstepping and then L2 R2ing, unsheathing every single time. You just L2 R2 unsheath, backstep, and then have them walk towards you, and you do it again. And it does work. It's too easy.
That seems fair, and I mean, he dispatched the NPC, and Chris got past Noble, and he is going to be pushing towards Rykard. And once he kills Rykard, he is going to have a bountiful amount of levels at his disposal. Is there really anything that would benefit him towards? Maybe the remembrance stats, remembrance weapons, if he decides to... Oh, maybe he is going to do that. I mean, that makes sense, Tom. He could do Blasphemous Blade into Renola, I guess.
Yeah, it's fire damage, and it's a good
Sure.
sword. It's better than Godfrey's fist weapon.
I'm sure.
Or
I
Godric's.
almost wonder if the weapon art would flop her.
Oh, it's gonna be
You know how she flops? You know, as she
Oh,
does.
yeah, no, it will knock her back. It won't flop
Yeah,
her necessarily. Like, it wouldn't put her airborne, but it does hit her backwards.
Which would be so satisfying.
Very, very
I love watching Renala get bullied. I don't like that fight.
And there, did you see Aggie kind of doing the thing that I was talking about, by the way, where you kind of like space out, unsheath, space out, unsheath. Like, that's all you do, and the invader will keep on walking towards you. It's really good against Harikas. It's really good against Nereus. Anything that has a melee build, you can constantly just do that strat, and invaders are a joke at that point.
I'm curious if he is gonna work towards column 4 at all. I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, Aggie is currently ahead 2 squares with that invader square, but Chris will have a lot of money to work with here after this Rykard kill.
He is going to Kaelin. Maybe he's gonna cheese Knight's Cav. He does have easy access to the one on Bellum Highway, and obviously the Limgrave one as well.
Yeah, it looks like he was going for Knight's Cavalry. I think he's just trying to force column 4, which is probably a good play. And it looks like, I think Chris saw that because Chris is going for Knight's Cavalry now too.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, these are easily picked up by both players. The +7, I mean, is very obtainable. Can't speak right now.
No, you're good. No worries.
It's the coffee. Had a little too much.
Oh, nice RG for Aggie there.
Yeah.
First try.
Let's see if Chris gets as lucky.
Oh, that was a little scary.
Mm-hmm.
One little side swipe there, he would have been dead.
And he does have the fist weapon. He is going to... Ooh. Okay. Could also threaten column 5, Dom. Right? Deathbird, Deathrite-Bird, Liurnia. Like, you could get some Liurnia bosses, too. You could get a 2-for in Liurnia for Deathbird, Deathrite-Bird.
Yeah, you could go for, let's say, go for Aiden and Balls, Everjails. That's 4 bosses. And then just go straight for the Deathbird and Deathrite-Bird. That's 6 bosses. And then, yeah, and you have Holy, too, because he leveled Holy to use the fist weapon. So he'll do more damage with Holy Pots on top of that.
Oh, you're right. He did have to put some into Faith. You're right.
I'm surprised he doesn't go for the parry on Moongrim.
Moongrim scares me.
He's weird. I was considering making a Moongrim kill square, but then I realized people are just gonna cheese him off the elevator anyways, so they've been kind of useless.
Kill Moongrim without cheesing him on the elevator.
Yeah, because like he parries you, and that's just funny to watch.
Yeah. All right, sniping the easy Knight's Cav and Limgrave. I don't know if Chris has been too weeping. I feel like he hasn't, but he does have Bellum Highway, so he can do that one pretty easily.
Well, the only thing here now is him focusing now on Knight's Cavalry to block column 4 is now having Aggie pick up potentially 2 squares with Remembrance Weapon and killing Renala after 4 Spirit Summons.
Yep. And, I mean, the damage that Aggie had on that first cycle was not stellar.
Well, I do think it's a +0, right? Or is it a +4?
Oh, he didn't level it at all. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I guess maybe he just does not have the funds. It's possible.
Yeah, I didn't think you have the money to actually go to +4. And he's quitting out. He's like, dude, this sucks. So.
Yeah, this is miserable.
I mean, after that dagger attempt, I don't blame him.
Why is Chris going here? Why not take the Bellum Highway one? Unless he wants something else in Weeping, maybe. It's just, I feel like the Bellum, didn't he already go Dectus for Raya's hand?
I think he's going for the Weeping Knight's Cavalry.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like he could have easily went to South Raya Lucaria and just picked up that one. It's not that much harder.
Also, it would be a Liurnia boss.
It would be a Liurnia boss. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah.
It would be worth the risk.
The LilAggy one is stronger, but he's not that much stronger, especially with the health Chris has. It's really not that big of a deal.
And the Bloodhound Fang.
Uh-huh.
So, but I mean, either way, this will be Chris's third Knights Cavalry.
It will be, yeah. Oh, it's the flail one. Which one do you prefer? If you had to pick the glaive versus the flail.
The glaive, because you can parry the glaive.
Yeah. You can parry the glaive?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
If you parry them, you knock them off their horse, so you don't have to hit their horse.
Oh, that's neat. I didn't know you could parry it.
Mm-hmm.
You're teaching me all sorts of parries today.
Thank you. I mean, you're welcome.
I haven't. Yeah. Thank
Hello?
you. You're welcome, I guess.
Oh, I'm having a hard time.
Imagine playing this whole time.
Oh yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
No, it would be hard.
But that is another square for Chris now, 5-6.
Hmm.
And Aggie going back to Renala.
Oh, this is gonna be a close one, huh?
Why
It
does
would be
look like
funny
he's
to
walking
see.
so slow?
It would be a little funny to see a little tiny race to Soldier of Godric. I kind of would like that.
I mean, it might happen.
Yeah, and I feel like both of them, it's pretty atypical to pick up the Stranded Grave Grace. So I feel like they both would be going probably from first steps if I had to imagine. So it'd be pretty equivalent. I would like to see that because, right, like, I don't know the play style of these two players for Godric specifically, but I mean, you can parry them or you can just cycle backstabs. It would be curious to see because the parries are huge, right? Like, I mean, the damage is terrible, but I think it's like double the amount of damage versus just like hitting him. So that'd be really funny actually to see a little Rick race.
This Serpent Hunter damage is extremely underwhelming, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with Bloodhound Fang, usually you would choose to level Dex, I believe, right? C scaling Dex, D scaling Strength. So he probably hasn't leveled Strength much.
Right.
So we're not seeing the A or B scaling, whatever it is for Serpent Hunter.
Oh, nice stun there by Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Almost had the Earthquake attack happen, but he stunned it right out of it.
Yeah,
going into phase 2 here.
Brutal. The dodge on that is so precise. And I don't even know if you can actually do it consistently when you're mid-rolling. Light rolling, I feel like, does give you close to the distance that you need to be able to do it, but it's just a frustrating dodge.
Yeah, I think for light load, like, you can consistently... I think it has to be frame perfect, though.
Yeah, it's like, get over to the edge as far as you can, and then, yeah, dodge at the exact precise moment.
I mean, the damage on Aggie, his fist weapon, is way better this time.
It's not too bad if it's leveled.
Very nice 2-cycle.
I think he'll probably stun her as well in second phase. I would imagine that she'll get bullied a little bit by this weapon.
A little bit. Yeah, so the Ash of War is really nice because the fire sometimes micro staggers her out of spell casting.
Oh, and it does fire damage on the ground too. It would be really cool to see this not in a water arena because you'd get a little bit more of its potential. It doesn't seem like a completely atrocious weapon.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah,
the problem is, it's a water arena too, so you do less damage with fire, which sucks.
I think all right is a good way to describe it. He should get a stagger here. Soon, I would imagine. Oh, I might have lied to you.
Oh, one more jump
Another
attack
jump
should
attack?
do it. There we go.
There we go. And then if he does the Ash of War, he might actually prevent the summon if he can, like, flop her. Oh, she's not summoning.
Not yet. Yeah, he has to wait for 4 summons now.
He needs it. I apologize. I completely forgot about the requirement.
There's wolves.
Chris got Rykard.
Yep. And he has to just discard that Serpent Hunter to get that square. Which he hasn't done yet. I mean, he maybe just holds on to it. I don't know. That'd be interesting. Let's listen to Aggie here real quick. He has the Troll and Wolves now. He needs the Bloodhound Knight and he needs the Dragon.
At least she summoned this time. I believe the last time I commentated with you, I think it was Aggie on Renala, that she just would not summon. She kept casting. And
Yeah.
she's kind of doing it again.
That kind of happens from time to time.
Arrow, please.
Yeah.
Okay,
Bloodhound?
that is Bloodhound Knight, so he just needs the dragon now, and he's good to go. He's got that gamer focus going on. Holy frames!
That is, yeah. What did I just witness? PowerPoint.
There we go, 4 summons,
and
so you can go for the kill
he
here.
got it. As long as he doesn't get hit by the breath. Beautiful.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh, he's got to be careful, the dragon.
Footstep.
Okay, there's the kill.
Ooh, and the dragon coming in right at the end there.
Oh
but,
my god, okay.
Very close. He could still die here if there's
just
not
the relief. You can,
Jesus.
oh my god, he is happy that's over.
That right there is some bingus.
That is.
That
A
right
kill of all
there is
time.
some
That's
bingus.
a double, a twofer, Dom.
A good old twofer?
Oh, I just like when I see that, especially with the red, right? It's just glaring in your face, and you see that light up. That's intimidating.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. Crystal going for the Academy key. I'm assuming he might just... Oh, I think he was on the way to get to Renala.
Yeah,
And then he
think so,
realized that was
too.
already taken.
Yeah.
Chris did kill Rykard. Hasn't discarded the Serpent Hunter yet. I think he's just, like, holding on to it and discards it later as, like, a surprise.
That seems fair. I don't think there's any other good indicator, right? At least, like, with him, he took Raya's hand, so there was some indication that he was heading towards the manor. He doesn't really have any good tells for Eggy if he'd be approaching that, but I guess he's pretty confident. I mean, I guess he can confidently say, hey, I know he sunk time into Renala. It's highly unlikely that he would have also gotten to Rykard, so I guess he could play it that way.
Yeah, I'm not sure why exactly he's holding on to it, though. I feel like it's a little bit of a risky play.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. But I guess he wants to have the element of surprise.
Oh, he's discarding it now. Okay, there we go. And he
Okay.
claims it.
Maybe he forgot.
Well, I don't know if he necessarily
That also
forgot.
could
Maybe he's like,
happen.
I mean, this is not necessarily the worst, because now Aggie thinks, okay, he just got done with the Rykard fight, when in reality, Chris is already in Limgrave. So he, like, technically bought some time from himself to, like, have Aggie reconsider the position, and has a little bit more time on his hands.
Let's see. So we have an ancestor spirit, a dragonkin soldier. So both. What? What?
Chris going for some death birds here in Limgrave
Oh.
with the holy pots.
Curious to see this damage. The headshots are pretty. Oh no!
That was something.
Insane wind up to only be interrupted by the terrain.
Oh, they're both going for death birds too. Aggie on
Maybe
the death
he's-
right bird.
I personally would save the holy pot for the death right bird. That's just you know.
I mean, you can always just get more flowers. There's like there's a bunch of flowers right next to this death bird that Chris is at.
Oh, do they respawn as well?
Yeah.
The sunflowers? Something
Yeah,
tarnished sunflowers.
Tarnished sunflower something, I think is what it's called. I don't know.
All right, one for Chris.
Straight for the Liurnia one here. Yeah, I think he's holding on to those holy pots for the Liurnia one.
I think that's fair. Just in general with the death right bird moveset, you're going to want to minimize the second phase entirely if possible.
He only has one holy pot, though. Unless he makes more. He's making more. No, he's not. He's throwing... Oh, that's why. He doesn't have enough cracked pots to refill into holy pots. So he's throwing...
Interesting.
Getting rid of his sleep pots there so you can actually craft some holy pots instead. So he's got 4 holy pots.
Yeah, and let's think about the progress that Eggy has made on the bosses in Liurnia. He has Red Wolf, Renala, Avatar here. Did he do the Knight's Cap? No, he didn't do Knight's Cap here. Has he done any other bosses in Liurnia?
Aggie,
would
he's
love to
done
see
Red
it.
Wolf and he's done Renala, and I think that's it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's
So it
it.
looks like he's just cleaning up some bosses here. Ooh, getting hit by the Avatar.
Oh, and that's actually
Look
really
at
smart.
that. You see that? Oh, just melted that Deathrite bird.
That's actually really smart. And instead of, like, when you stagger, instead of going for the riposte, just start throwing holy pots on the head instead.
That is a very, very, very clean.
I actually never
fight
thought
by
about that.
Chris.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, otherwise they're very erratic in their behavior. They can be difficult to headshot, which is where you're really gonna get the
Yeah.
big damage. That was cool. That was very well done.
The
So he swoops up that.
Yes, now I was
What were you
wondering,
gonna
like, is he not going to force 6 bosses in Liurnia? You know, hey, you could go for. I don't know. This is a little tough.
I don't know. It's I think, you know, if I was Chris, I'd say I'm gonna let him have it because I know he already committed time to Granola.
Oh,
So
he's too close. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like he understands that Aggie has some of these bosses that he's already been contributing to the square. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna go clean up Wormface, or I'm gonna work on Altus, whatever it is ultimately he's gonna be doing right now. I think that's smart.
I think he's going for invading Magnus here.
Magnus would be smart as well.
He's blocking
Magnus,
row
Wormface.
5. Yeah. That also pushed him into majority.
Is that the final bingo that is on the board? It looks like it is. That would be the final one. This is gonna be a match, Dom. Are you comfy? You got enough snacks?
I am not gonna lie, I am hungry, but I'm also hungry
too.
for a good match, so I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm okay with this.
I'm hungry, and I've been looking at an egg for about an hour and 5 minutes now, so.
I'll stop referencing it. A Mo Grace would be, that would be like a dream come true to me. Magnus is a beast.
Magnus,
look at him.
yeah, showing.
So quick with those bestial incantations. Like, I feel like for beast clergymen, they don't come out as quick. Like, I feel like they're a little bit
Faster?
more predictable. And yes, Magnus is faster.
Yeah.
It's scary.
I agree.
Who gave him all of that power?
Oh, that was really nice.
Clean. That was very clean.
This time he's making sure. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he's like, I'm absolutely not making the same mistake.
Yeah. Very nice, though. Very nice block. Okay, so we're in a full majority match now.
Yeah.
No more bingos left for Chris. No more bingos left for Aggie. This is going straight to majority. 8 to 8.
It's an hour in. We got a match.
Yeah, and I can go straight. I mean, Chris can go straight for Wormface here.
And
then
which makes sense.
Maybe start forcing like Dragonkin Ancestor Spirit.
That's what I would do. I would clean up those, I think, leaving... What are you laughing at?
Just chat. Just being silly. It's like Wendy's 8 for 8 because I said Wendy's 4 for 4.
You gonna get Wendy's after this? Get a Frosty?
Nah, I'm good.
You dip your fries in your Frosty. That is directed at you and chat. How do we feel about it?
A Frosty? I'm down for a Frosty.
Do you put your fries in it? What's wrong?
Chris got death blighted.
Oh, he did.
You put fries in your Frosty?
Yeah, like the sweet and salty combination. No. Oh, a hard no. I'm seeing the hard no.
No.
Handshake. I'll take the hint. No, it's against the rules. Okay. It's yummy. You should try it.
I had a strong conversation with Chad, I think, the other day about how I don't like my food touching. So.
Oh, you're like my dad.
Yeah, I don't like stuff touching.
My dad is like that too. Mm-hmm. I love combining foods. It's like my favorite thing. I love food, and I love trying all sorts of different combinations.
Nice damage by Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, the combos are weird. Sometimes it's fine, but for the most part, no. No.
Okay.
No.
I'll remember that.
And that is now 9 to 8.
Did he just melt Wormface? He did.
Yes, he did. He knocked Wormface out and then got the headshot damage. Yeah.
Yeah. That'll happen.
The question now is, okay, I think Ag is going for Grail without status effects here.
Do you think he will? Well, Grail without status effects is almost 100% of the time just kill the baby dragons, right? That's like.
Yes, unless you go kill Godskin Apostle.
Yeah, I do like the Black Flame. That is so cool. The Black Flame is so neat.
Chris grabbing staves here. I think this is a good play from Chris, to be honest. Going for staves. He's going for a demi-human queen And you can just
Sweep
rush
'em
like
up.
straight through like Caelid, go for the Staff of Loss, go for the Meteorite staff. Like I think this is possibly
been
going
to
to be
Caelid?
faster. Huh?
Besides Dectus, has he really ventured into Caelid?
I don't not super
I don't
much.
think in this match he has. We could do, yeah, I mean, the demi-human staff, the one that you can kind of just kill the one random noble who's wandering around lost. I guess, yeah, it's tough to say if Caelid or Liurnia would be better. If he doesn't have a reason to go to Caelid, maybe just venturing back into Liurnia and cleaning up some of those straggler stabs would not be a terrible idea.
Aggie's damage is not very high, I feel like, for these dragons.
Yeah. Hope maybe for the bleed proc.
Yeah, there it is. That's the first dragon. He needs 4 more.
Okay.
He just has to be careful here. They do that spin attack right after you attack them for the first time. There it is, and boom.
Ooh, and so I don't know the debuff entirely, but Grail does inflict a debuff. Is that a damage and defensive debuff?
Yes.
Or what exactly? Okay.
Yeah, it lowers both your defense and your damage.
Yeah, that's rough. That is tough, especially they have a lot of attacks that can be difficult, like the stomps even. I feel like foot stomps on the dragons, because they have slight variations as to how they occur, and the hitbox is pretty large. It can be tricky.
I mean, that's why you like do the jump attack rather than trying to roll it, because if you roll it, it's like you're still at risk because you're touching the ground. But if you jump, like there's no way that the shockwave actually hits.
Kind of like Makar. I feel like Makar, for a long time, I struggled with his like huge slam in phase 2 because of the roll, but I think the jumping has helped me with that as well. Man, are they both doing flasks now?
I think they are.
They just picked up the same thing at the same time, did they not? It's insane.
I do wonder, I think Chris is actually ahead on tiers, though.
I don't know. He's +3, and Eggy, we will never know. We will never know. Just be playing a guessing game.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they're at the same pace, pretty much.
I know, it's bizarre that they both decided to go here at the same time. They haven't really been in sync whatsoever until now. And these are the only, or I suppose there's one in the Frenzied Village as well.
Yes.
Correct? Okay.
Yes.
So that almost in itself brings Chris to +7. He's very close. Someone is mentioning he's +2. Okay.
So Chris is ahead by at least +1.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to go straight for a Millicent Church here. That's going to be another sacred tier.
This is very curious.
That's going to be a huge time loss for Aggie, I think.
I think so too.
Which is going to be brutal.
And Chris is ahead by 1.
What Chris can do here too is like he can grab the sacred tier here and then drop down into Celia and grab the staff of loss and the staff of the mirror stuff.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
That would be a very smart play.
Yeah, they're Aggie's basically pretty much going for the things that Chris is going for, but Chris already has a head start. Just really bad.
Makes sense, right, to start cleaning up some of these straggler squares. Yep, and Aggie's about to see that.
There it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The reaction. Yeah.
There it is.
Yep. This is not unexpected for how the pace of the game has been going. And oh yeah, Aggie did give up on Grail. Is that what Chris is gonna do? Is he gonna clean up now?
I really think if I were Aggie, like completely honest, I would just give up staves on top of this and just go for the Ancestor Spirit Dragonkin at the very least.
Yeah, because then you can kind of guarantee 2 squares. He does have a head start on the bosses in Liurnia. Okay, yes, of course. I want to see a race to Moke so badly. That's what I want. But also a race to Rick would be kind of fun too.
Yeah, I'm a little sad.
Okay with either. What's wrong?
Oh, I haven't gotten a Moke race this whole season.
Well, let's hope that however they end up playing this, that is what we see, because I think that would be a very, very cool end to a final
Yeah, I
or
agree.
semifinal.
But at this point, Aggie has to do some serious blocking for that to happen.
Yeah. So Chris is gonna pick up this square in theory. So then he's at 11. What other two could he do? I mean, the stabs, if Aggie does not ultimately pursue that, Rick would be an option. I do like to see, though, not that it's always the most fun to see a player in this position, but it is cool when someone is forced to be blocking and to see how accurately they can predict the movements of their competitor.
Yeah.
I do like situations like that.
No, I agree. Those are definitely very fun here. I do think also Chris definitely has Grail in the bag here if he's being careful.
I don't think he can get one shot by anything. He's got a ton of health from, the Rykard kill really put him in a beautiful, that's a word, a beautiful position for stats.
I do like what I see here from Aggie, though, as well as not going for the staves here, but actually going for Liurnia bosses and just solidifying that square for himself.
I think it's good, yeah, since he already has dedicated the time to it. It makes sense.
Just gotta be careful here, though. Spin attack.
Ooh, that one does come out quick.
I think this is the last dragon that Chris needs to kill here, and they can just go and hit Grail once, and then that's gonna be it.
So it's 5 baby dragons total that they have to do?
5 dragons, and then you can just hit Grail once, and then that's it. Yeah, there you go. It's like Grail's left at like 1 HP. There we go.
So another square in the bag, as well as more runes. Even more stats, even though he is pretty much well set for endgame.
There we go.
He could take on Moog with the stats he has, honestly.
100%. Yeah, currently Chris is in the driver's seat.
What is his Bang at?
5? I want to say 5.
He could easily get a +9 if he so chooses.
6. Never mind. 6.
He could get a +9 if he wanted. But he doesn't really need it. He doesn't need it. Unless, like, even for, well, Moog, it would be nice.
7?
But...
Okay, you guys are giving me different answers. 6 or 7? 7? Maybe 7?
7-ish. We're going to go with the ish answer.
I don't think he picked up the Somber 7, guys. I think he just did Rykard and dipped.
And then he's going to swoop over and grab the meteorite out of the runes.
Yep.
Which would mean he is at, I think, 3 stabs at this point.
He has the Demi-Human Queen. He probably got the Glintstone Staff as well that you get from that Noble. So that's 2. So this is 4?
Yeah, I don't know if he killed that one or not. I could not honestly tell you. You know what? For how much running around he did in the beginning of the match when we were like, what is Chris up to? I feel like there's a lot of that dead time. He probably did kill the Noble at that point.
I mean, he definitely knows about it. So at the very least, like, he has the grace for it, I would say. If not already grabbed it. I'm not sure. And he doesn't know where the meteorite staff is. Oh, never mind. Okay. For like 2 seconds,
He found it.
I was a little confused there. Yeah, the question is like, what is Aggie gonna do? Because after 6 Liurnia bosses, all you have left is Fist, Soldier of Godric, Ancestor Spirit, Dragonkin, Moog. Because he's not gonna get staves. Oh, he's gonna do a heal cheese on Revenant here. This might be a 6th boss.
I do like the heal cheese. That's not a cheese. It's the heal kill.
Okay, so Revenant, Agil, not Agil, Smaragd, Red Wolf, Renala. Anything else? Balls?
I don't think he did balls. Did he kill balls? It must have been very quick if he did.
I think I would have seen balls. He did the archery. Right, he did do the archery.
He did, yep.
He did 6 bosses, okay.
This is... Oh, so Chris is by that Noble where you get the staff.
Yep.
Or he's looking for it.
He's going the wrong way.
Very angrily looking for it. I've never seen someone so upset.
He's got to go the other way. He's got to go the other way. He's going the wrong way.
He threw his
never mind.
up
No, he's
in
going the right way.
air
He's
and
going the right way.
everything.
He's going the right way.
Yeah, he was by the wrong.
The wrong runes.
Wrong runes. That's a
I thought he was I thought he was going north, not south. Yeah, I think Aggie's going downstairs, which I think is the right call here.
I think so too. Like you said, with the 2 square availability, it's just, you know, as soon as Chris does that, I think Ancestor. I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna work out.
So Chris is gonna get a 6th staff here in Liurnia, and then if Aggie gets Dragonkin or Ancestor Spirit, both, it's only Soldier of Godric and Moog, by the way. And if Chris thinks he can go for Ancestor Spirit or Dragonkin and doesn't go for Soldier of Godric, we might have a Moog race.
I almost would prep
Also, my
Ancestor Spirit. I would prep Ancestor Spirit, not complete it, kill Dragonkin, then immediately go do Ancestor, then immediately go Soldier of Godric. I think that's what I would do, just to have an element of surprise. I'm assuming, I mean, it's a safe assumption that Chris would have the knowledge that that's probably what Aggie's working on, but it still helps, I think, if you could prep the Pyres previously before Dragonkin, then Ancestor Spirit.
I think Chris is just going straight to Moog.
That would also be a move, right? Because what is, you know, why else? Yeah, that makes sense.
He's like, dude.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, Aggie's game crash. No. Oh.
I think even without the game crash, though, this is really hard to... Because Aggie has to get all 4 squares to win.
Yeah. I mean, it may... it's not... I think Chris could complete the match quicker by doing one of the others, but he's like, hey, I'm not even gonna play the guessing game. I'm just gonna go take a square that I know requires a lot of stats, a lot of time, a lot of effort, and he's gonna kill Moog, which is fantastic. I'm so happy.
Well, here's also the other thing, though, is that Chris already defeated Magnus. Aggie hasn't done that yet.
Yeah, he is way
that's
ahead of the process.
That's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, the crash is unfortunate. So Aggie gonna go for... I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense to do Godric. Yeah, I mean, really, I can't foresee this swaying the other way right now with if Chris is pursuing Moog. Unless Chris ties to Moog multiple times. Even then, like you said, Aggie doesn't have the completion on the quest.
This is definitely rough, though, for Aggie, though, too, because his game quit out when he's on the elevator, so the elevator reset.
Yeah. No, that's what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But it doesn't. It literally doesn't matter. If Chris gets this and doesn't choke on Moog, like, he wins regardless, because Aggie... I think Aggie has Altus to access. Altus to access to Altus. Holy.
I know what you meant. Don't worry, I'm at the same point as you right now, so we're speaking the same language, Tom.
But he would still have to do, you know, Magnus and everything. So
yeah,
he's very behind.
Chris already murdered the poor helpless. I forget her name. The one where her father's in Castleborn. Irina. And he is on his way to getting the medal.
Yeah, this is definitely rough.
But it still will be interesting to see play out, and we get to see a Moog kill.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm just surprised by the insane turn of events in this case.
It just goes to show how much foresight the players have to see the whole board, right? Like, this was mid-late game board, and so being able to really synthesize all of the information that they're given and say, hey, I'm going to slowly build up to this. I just think ultimately it just worked out that Chris's steps prior worked a little bit better. It just is how it is sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, we had like a really, really close. There was an hour and 5 minutes. It was 8-8. And so much has happened since then.
It was like yeah, you're right. It was an hour and 6. I remember looking at the timer. We were an hour and 6, 8-8. and it's just how quickly things can change.
Which is it's absolutely crazy.
Which, you know, I think we pointed out a few times of, you know, Aggie was making all this progress. He was already to Ria Lucaria, and we're like, what's Chris up to? You know, he did a lot of these here and there's, but I think we're seeing the payout of that.
Of setup, yeah.
Yep. That's just, this was a very well thought out board. Very well played. And we're seeing, you know, Soldier of Godric. If you're not prioritizing those backstabs and or parries, and you know, another just time sink, right?
I mean, actually, there was a test that was done. I think Gino tested this, that actually not parrying and just doing fist is faster.
Oh, is R2 charge R2 is better?
It's faster, yeah, because you don't have to wait for Soldier of Godric to stand up every single time you riposte them. So you're losing a lot of time for every single time Godric stands up.
That's true. And accounting for, you know, human error of you're probably not going to get every parry every single time.
Right.
So that makes sense.
All right. Well, I'm gonna bring up Chris onto the big screen here for
I think
Moog.
that's a good idea.
I'm gonna listen in too. There we go. Aggie claiming that Soldier of Godric square.
It's Mogan time.
I wonder how this fight's gonna go. He does have a lot of health to play with here.
He does. He is. I have no concern that Chris.
Oh
will
wow.
mess up this fight.
That's still pretty low.
Yep. All right. That's
Yeah, but
just
he
the deal.
bleeds. The status will be very beneficial.
Oh
for
no,
this
for
fight.
sure. I'm just saying, like from
He did
R1s
Soldier
though, that's
Godric
not a lot of
fist.
damage.
Yeah,
Oh, that's unfortunate.
he is tanky.
Any traces in chat? Any duos in chat? There we go. Nice stagger. Duel. And here we go. Unos.
Yep. Oh, very unfortunate, you know, RNG there where he had done the overhead blood flame, so you couldn't attack him during that debuff that he inflicts. But that's all right. Have a little bit longer of a second phase.
Oh,
So
the
much
temporary
health
raises
again.
max
Ooh,
HP,
that's
not
kind of
the
a nasty
time
blood flame
dud.
attack there.
The crazy thing is though that like what's really good for Chris here is the
Did you see
fact.
that? Oh.
The crazy thing is though for Chris though is that he does have the +7 flask, which is really helpful here.
Very nice. Yes.
That's coming into, you know, the work is showing in that case.
Yeah, he was trying to strafe the you know, the fireball attack, and there's just
really.
a random urn or pot or whatever you want to call it in his way.
Mm-hmm.
That is, you know, that's one tricky thing about Moog, I would say, is his boss room is a little confining for what he can do and the range on his attacks, how much space he can take, like with his flight. I would say the boss room is pretty confining. Ooh. Unfortunate misroll there.
Should be fine. Oh!
Ooh! I think he thought he was strafing that, unfortunately.
He does have to heal here. He's gotta be careful.
Oh, be careful for that bleed buildup. Oh.
He has one more flask to heal. This is getting a little tough for sure.
He did a lot more damage than I thought.
And we have Aggie right above me, by the way, going for that Dragonkin now. If we
Yeah,
actually have Chris die at this, and then Aggie has a chance to start going towards Mo, this would be insane.
Oh no.
It would be, yeah. Oh, I gotta roll that. Okay.
Good RNG.
Hopefully gonna heal on this
Nice.
strafe. Okay,
Oh! Stun.
yeah. Nice stun, getting those headshots.
Should get a
He
bleed
could
proc.
proc another bleed here.
Yeah.
The resistance does go up pretty high.
The
After a while,
resistance?
What should I have said?
No, I meant like Riz isn't. Never mind.
Oh. Sorry, Dom. I'm too tired for it.
okay.
I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Just a few more hits here. Yeah, he's kind of in a very awkward spot. Yep. Oh, you gotta roll. Okay.
That was.
And he got
Oh,
a blue
there we
cross
go.
for the kill.
Jeez.
Very well played. That was a match. That was a beautiful, beautiful match. That was a well thought out match. I enjoyed that immensely. Dom, what do you think?
I was just enjoying the voice acting there, but yeah, GG's to
Oh,
Chris.
sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. That
was
is. Why did the
fantastic.
timer? Why is the timer at -7? What happened? Huh?
And Eggy getting the Dragonkin. And yeah.
There it is, though. There it is.
Beautiful, yeah.
GG's.
Very well fought. I mean, we had a very strong first match from Aggie right off the bat today. Aggie. And then Chris coming in with a bingo win for the second match.
Yeah.
And then the final board here just was very interesting to see how each player took it. We did not see a lot of overlap. That was one thing that this match was a little surprising for. There wasn't a ton of overlap for what the players were doing. I usually feel like we see players pursuing more similar squares. I can't speak.
You're all right. No worries. Yeah.
Yep.
I think overall this was just it was a great best of threes for sure.
It was.
Close matches on both of them, and I think it's also nice to see though that for Chris having a bit of a rough first match and then having to forfeit a square in the second match that didn't get to him to where he actually still pulled it together and got 2 wins in a row.
He did recover nicely from that.
So that was very, very nice. I'm gonna bring in Chris in here.
Sounds great.
Yo, GG's Chris, congrats on getting into the finals,
thank
man.
Congrats, Chris. That was an excellent match.
Thank you. I did Moog for you, Dom.
I appreciate that, buddy. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And even
like, I
first
could
try
just-
too.
Yeah, almost not, dude. That
Almost
was kind
not,
of
but-
scuffed. Yeah.
It was good.
That was
Yeah,
that was a lot. That was a lot lower damage than I expected.
Yeah, I mean, it's +6. I don't have any, like, buffs. I put my flask on the heals just to make sure I had heals.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize the other one was temporarily raises instead of... I thought it was, like, the heal over time because I was just going fast. And it makes no sense. I'd have that anyway, but... Yeah, if I did the strength one, it would have been a bit faster, but... Or the spiked tier.
Yeah.
Sure.
Gotcha.
But it didn't really... I don't think it would have mattered too much. But
Yeah. No, that was a good move. Aggie wouldn't have been able to counter that
Aggie.
easily. Aggie.
No,
yeah,
that was
I
a
figured
fantastic match, though.
because I did the beast claw and everything, and it didn't seem like he had Altus access like probably even the whole run. Honestly, maybe he did at some point, but
I don't think it did.
Did he have Altus? I don't think he did.
Yeah.
I don't think he had Altus the whole game.
Yeah, so that's why it was I was saving the discard of the Serpent Hunter for column 1 to try and sneak a bingo there, but then he got the only remembrance weapon because like I just had bought Blasphemous Blade, but I was about to go upgrade it, and then he got it, so that was nice. I was able to commit to Bloodhound's Fang, but yeah, that was a good back and forth one, I think.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. Interestingly, I felt like you guys took very different paths, and we were seeing like how Iggy was progressing early on through Liurnia, and you were doing a lot of little setup, and I think that ultimately is what just gave you the upper hand. You had a lot of forward progression that helped you, and then obviously you could solidify the Moog square, so that was very well done.
Yeah, I was thinking about going for Soldier of Godric, but I'm like, let's do Moog for fun, and I don't think Moog is also just safer because
I think it was the right move.
Altus.
Yeah,
because I had like everything already. I already had killed Magnus. I already had a Grace right by Irina to kill her, which is always fun. And then I just like go there and do Moog. So
you shouldn't say that aloud, Chris.
I mean, it's in game. It's just
that was
Because-
definitely great. I agree. I definitely agree on that. I'm gonna bring in Aggie here real quick too.
Yep.
Welcome in, Aggie. GG's, man.
GG's, Aggie.
Yo, GG's.
How do you feel overall about the best of threes?
I like best of threes a lot. I think it's a fun format.
Yeah.
I don't think it takes like too terribly long, as long as you're not going 2 hours every game, which we didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
it was
actually
like 5
really
hours
nice
or
too,
so
like from
with
both
breaks.
players to like have matches that were like an hour 20, hour 40, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely not bad at all. I had a question now, I can't remember. Oh, what was like your plan with this board, by the way?
Well, because all the new squares, I like to go for those because they're fun. And so yeah, I was doing Godric, Nepheli, Lu, but because I did the Greffid Scion, I was just behind Aggie a bit. I also think he had a pretty fast fight with that anyway.
He did.
So yeah, I
It's okay,
was like
yeah.
right behind there on that, and I'm like, well, from there I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna take Rise Hand, set up around the map, get to Altus to then also get like the Godefroy, which I eventually came back later for to make you think I was going for like top left, bottom right diagonal, and then I was gonna go for a Calm 1 bingo in the meantime. But then you marked Memory Stones like a minute after, so you're doing that like anyway, I think. And then you also, I think, setting up for the Calm 5, you did the Remembrance Only weapon, and then Renala, because it's slow anyway. What Remembrance weapon do you use? You use Godric's Fist?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was banking on that. You just use that for money. But yeah, I guess not, because I had just bought Blasphemous Blade and was going to upgrade it and then head to the Academy, and then you marked it. I'm like, okay, well, that kind of ruined my bingo plan. So yeah, because I was holding the right card, discard Serpent Square, so you didn't really know where I was.
Right, like you went to Raya,
but...
so I assumed you would do the right card.
Yeah,
and then I would
exactly.
assume you would do Blasphemous Blade into that. So I know I wanted to do that at some point, but I wasn't like gonna rush to do it until you had marked right card, because I was pretty much just had it ready to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, what got me is I put off Altus Access. I'm still not an Altus, and then I couldn't contest any of those.
Yeah, that's kind of why
it would have worked out, but you came back for all the Liurnia ones, like right as I was about to do them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, right
I didn't
when
get
you
like hard sniped on any of them, but like I had like partial progress on all of them, and then they were just taken away from me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because when you mark the Remembrance weapon only, I'm like, okay, well now I kind of need to just go for just squares and go for majority now. And so then yeah, I did Death Bright Birds and then Magnus, and Magnus and Warmface you didn't really have, but yeah, then I did Sacred Flask. Did you start going for the Grail at all without Satisfacts? I'm just curious. If you...
I tried it once. I only had a +4 Bloodhound Fang, but the damage was pretty bad, so I just died once and then left. And then I started working on Sacred Tears, and then you marked that. And then I went for Liurnia bosses and staves, and you got the staves, but at least I got the bosses.
Yeah, I was just cutting my loss with the bosses, because I did the Limgrave Deathbird and the Liurnia Deathbird. I'm like, probably should have done both those in Liurnia. Well,
that's what I assumed you did, yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of like messed up my like for that, and I was like, well, that's kind of slower anyway than just like grabbing these other things that I already have a lot of places near on the map, like the Sacred Flask. I already had +3, and I was in like Weeping for something, or maybe that's why I went to Weeping to get, because I could just get +4 real quick and then go to the Smoldering Church, whatever, with Millicent and get the 7th, and then I went and did Grail.
For the whole format of not having chat, by the way, did you guys notice that having somewhat of an effect on your play at all through the best of threes?
Yeah, I didn't get baited by chat to do other things, so that's great.
What about you, Aggie? Did you notice any difference at all with your play style being changed since you didn't have like chat to talk to in any way?
Not really, no. I don't think it influenced me a whole lot.
Yeah,
that's
I think
fair.
For people, like by now, anyone who's in the league kind of knows where things are. I think chat helps the most earlier on when people are learning, just like where things are and questions and stuff. So anyone in the finals, I don't think really rely on chat at all.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, it was more or less like the suggestions that chat comes up with, like, hey, you have a combo here you could try, or hey, there's some synergy here, like, you know.
Yeah, that usually ends up messing me up. So
fair, very fair, very fair. Let me see. Is there anything else? Brie, do you have any questions?
I don't think so, but
Throw you on the
you
spot
both
there.
played very well. It was a very fun day to watch.
thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed.
Yeah, it was
Chat and everyone else.
fantastic 3 matches for sure. I think that just overall best of 3s was a really good way of going about it. I think this is a great way of ending out the season. I think best of 3 tournament bracket's pretty cool. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys playing. See Chris in the finals the week after. Chris, you get a week break, so
Yep.
that's gonna be nice. And then Aggie, next week Sunday, you're gonna be playing for 3rd place.
Yep.
Yes, sir. I don't
Best of
know
luck.
if 3rd place can be best of 3s or not. I don't remember. I think it is, but yeah.